Now, here's Greg Kerr.
And welcome to the Renegade Report again. I am Greg Kerr, your host, as we're going to take you through the season. And our mission here is to bring you the latest goings-on the campus of Bakersfield College. I've got my requisite red shirt on. Last week, we sort of did a dry run that nobody saw and wasn't wearing red, but that was basically just for practice. But here we are, and we are happy to be on board to bring you what's going on the Bakersfield College campus. And we're going to start things off, first of all, with a few thank yous to a lot of people who put the show together, beginning at the top with Louis Amestoy. Chris McCullough is back there pushing the buttons to make sure that everything happens right. Francis Mayer is a guy that just runs around and texts me every 5 minutes and makes sure that this show gets going. So we're thankful for those people and many more as we begin our inaugural show here again on Renegade Report. A lot of things going on the Bakersfield College campus, and I sort of have a different view of this these days because my son, Kyle, started college at Bakersfield College just yesterday, or Monday actually, was his first day. And so I was walking around campus, and the first thing I saw, I heard a lot of stuff going on in the gym. And well, Rich Hughes already has the guys out. He has a lot of guys trying out for the men's basketball team. There are about 30 guys up there. So even though the season isn't here yet, a lot of guys trying to make the Renegade basketball team. And then, of course, cross country. They're going to be the first ones right there. They're the Ventura Invitational. So already you know you have a smart coach because in the middle of August, you're in Ventura. That's not a bad gig right there, as they are in competition later today. Wrestling, Brett Clark, who is new on board, not new to this town, of course. He's a Renegade through and through. But September 12th, they will start things off at Victor Valley. And then their first home wrestling match is going to be September the 19th. That will be against West Hills. We also have volleyball, Carl Ferreira. We're going to try to get Carl in here. But they're hosting Gavilan and Cabrillo over the weekend. And then coming up, they got actually their first four opponents, but two home dates are back-to-back because September 6th, Santa Barbara and Grossmont. Really good program from Grossmont coming in as well. So busy times for Carl Ferreira and his volleyball team. And golf is getting underway, but we're going to have Brittany Gehring in here, so we'll sort of save that a little bit, but she will be one of our guests later today. Also coming up later, we are going to have head football coach Jeff Chudy as we talk about the season that begins September 6th on the road at Riverside City. And we'll have Rick Van Horn in. He's sort of like the historian of all things Bakersfield College athletics and certainly football. He has done his share of historical work at BHS as well. We're going to certainly focus on what's going on with BC. But right now, we are pleased to have the president of Bakersfield College, Dr. Sonya Christian, on board. Sonya, first of all, thank you for your busy schedule coming in and helping us out.
Well, I'm just excited to be here. This is our first show for Bakersfield College, the Renegade Report. I hope all of you tune in every Thursday and watch us 15 weeks as we gear up for Renegade Athletics.
Well, we know, too, that let's just start right there in terms of just your background, as whether it's as an athlete or a fan. Play sports when you were younger?
Well, actually, I kind of grew up in this little town in the southern part of India. And at that time, boys did sports and girls watched sports and actually did the studying. But I always loved sports, and my daughter ran track, and I was there watching her. But I went to USC, so once a Trojan, always a Trojan. But truly, I mean, what I am is a Renegade fan, Renegade athletic fan. And when I watch whether it's football or volleyball, when I'm there, it's kind of crazy when you're president. You almost feel like the athletes are yours. So like when I watch my daughter, I would get all excited and emotional, and my heart was right there with her. It's the same with Renegade Athletics for me. So go Gades.
Yeah. You know, you bring up a great example, though, that when in India you said the guys played the sports and the girls did the studying. Well, here you are a president. Maybe that's a message to all students at BC. Do your work and look what can happen.
Right, and quite frankly, you know, when you think of athletics, you think these students are out there just playing sports, but the reality is very different. They work out hard, they play hard, but they've got to maintain a full class schedule. They've got to maintain high academic standing. So if you look at the GPA of our athletes, they're actually higher than the rest of the campus. So they're students first and foremost, and that's what's amazing. And I really want to put that out there. They're student athletes, and they're just phenomenal.
And the one thing I think you learn, both of us having gone to college, is the one thing you better learn right away is all the elements you just talked about. whether it's your class schedule or even just, going out with friends and being an athlete, all those things combined is time management.
Absolutely. I mean, if you think about it, what athletes gain when they're practicing, they really learn how to persevere. And when you think about mathematics, I mean, what is it that makes people good in math? Is because you persevere, you've got problem-solving skills, and you really work hard. And, the other day I was talking to our basketball coach, Paula Dahl, and she was sharing with me some of the very difficult life circumstances and financial conditions that our students go through. And they're playing hard, and they're studying hard. And Coach Schutte, when he was at the Rotary Club the other day, and he said the coaches at BC fundamentally really build kind of the moral fiber, and they focus on the student development. So that's really important.
I would imagine, too, is you just mentioned something in terms of the plight sometimes of athletes financially and things of that nature. We have such a shifting culture in terms of what's going on at the Division I level with athletes, pay them, not pay them, and all this. How does that come down or filter down to the junior college level for you as an athletic director, Sandy Taylor as an athletic, or you as a president, Sandy Taylor as athletic director? How much of what we see at the Division I level actually exists at your level as well?
Well, mostly what you see in our student athletes, and it really shows when they later become community members. Yesterday, I was at this scrimmage, and we had about 100 community members out there supporting our Renegades. And actually, we should have 200 of you out there. And what you see is, just citizens in our community who are really engaged and who are really caring, and they come back and they give to future generations. So the focus is really building the person to really understand, you need to take community responsibility and so on. So yes, athletics becomes a tool at the community college, and it's not all about just moving and progressing in their athletic career, but just becoming just healthy, strong citizens.
Well, you're well into your second year as president here, but your first job here was as a professor at BC. What do you remember back then, your first day walking onto this campus?
Well, the amazing thing about BC, I was inspired to be a teacher. I never, ever thought I would be president. But at BC, what happens is you get immediately engaged with different activities. So before I knew it, I was involved with projects, committees, grants, and then all of a sudden I was department chair, so it just kind of happened suddenly, and then division chair, went away to Oregon. And the funny thing is when the presidency was posted at BC and I was in Oregon, I was the vice president there, it was a no-brainer. I had to come back home. I had to come back to BC, and I didn't apply to be a president. I applied to be the president of Bakersfield College.
Yeah, and passion's a big part of it. When you have a passion for something, it shows in your work.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing a lot of really cool things at BC. I'm not sure if you've been out to the Memorial Stadium recently.
Yes. I was at the scrimmage last night, so
okay,
I was one of the.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there.
That's awesome. You saw our fields, right?
Right.
I mean, the campus moved up to the hill. We started in 1913 at the Bakersfield High School campus, but we moved to the hill in the 1950s. So a lot of our facilities are really needing some, just remodeling and to get a boost. And Ed Davis, wherever you are, you totally rock. It was, the passion and commitment. He was really insistent on getting the field renovated. The Helmet Club, really with generosity and contributions. We've got a beautiful field. We've got a doubleheader coming up with high school Friday night lights on the 29th. We've got volleyball on Saturday from 10 to 2, so come on out there. And I'm going to Riverside on September 6th, and our Rooter bus is heading over, so make sure you pack those cars, pack the Rooter bus, and head on to Riverside.
I also noticed in just walking around the BC campus, when you talk about improvements and things going on that nature, got a lot of construction going on there, Sonya. Yeah. So tell us a little bit of what is going on if you walk around the campus.
Yeah, I'm so, last year we really committed ourselves to saying, we've got to focus on our facilities. And even our athletics, our Memorial Stadium, we've got a capital campaign that's sort of on hiatus, but we've got to, and if you're interested in supporting the capital campaign, my number is 395-4211, or you can go to Bakersfield College Athletics, right? Isn't that what Francis said? And like us on Facebook. Yes. But we've got lots of renovation happening. But in terms of athletics, we're focusing on our stadium, but also on our athletic complex. We're focusing on wellness. So there's a huge renovation plan. We're looking at a field house for our female student athletes. So, and the good thing is we have a plan, and we're going to methodically over the next few years keep chipping away at a few of those projects because we have a master plan.
When it comes to athletics, what's your vision? We were talking earlier in regard to the fact that, whether it's Bakersfield College, USC, UCLA, wherever, a really small percentage of those people that play athletics, male or female, actually go to the professional ranks, but all of them become something. So obviously your student athletes, really the student part, even though the athletics is what we're talking about right now, the student part of BC. Can you address that athletic and academic side?
Yeah, you've absolutely hit the core. And, you know, I was a math faculty, and I mean, once a math faculty, always a math faculty. So in a way, I'm kind of a nerd. And in looking at the data of our students and looking at the background, I honestly believe that if we did not have athletics, many of our students would not have engaged with higher education. So the student part in the student athletics is fundamental. It is core. It's front and foremost. Talk to any of our coaches. We have 18 sports, and they're all committed to that. They're building the student up. And it shows. It's not just, you know, it's just not something we say, but when you look at the GPA of those students and see how they do, they become the business people in our community, the lawyers in our community who truly give back. So do understand that it's student athletes, student first and foremost, but athletics in itself, even though what you learn on the field is translated into the classroom, but athletics in itself is a learning process. It really builds the team spirit, it builds commitment, which I think are fundamental in being strong and healthy as adults as well.
Well, what it does is gives a lot of people opportunity to get onto a campus and find their life's work if it doesn't end up being athletics. So that is certainly a great thing. And as Dr. Christian also mentioned, it's Bakersfield College athletics. If you go there, they're actually going to be giving away season tickets, not just one weekend. Season tickets, if you like it on Facebook, Bakersfield College Athletics. Don't go BC Athletics. It's Bakersfield College Athletics. Like us on Facebook, and you could be getting some free tickets for the entire upcoming football season. Dr. Christian, it's been so nice to have you on board, our first guest. We greatly appreciate your time. We know you have a busy schedule, and I know we will see you at the first game.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, that is Dr. Sonya Christian. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk women's golf with Brittany Gehring. We will be right back.